Hello and welcome to another episode here at Rockstar UK. So today I'm going to take you over some rear frame prep work that I've done. Basically I cracked on with it, I've got it done, but I want to give you a general overview of all like the brackets you cut down, or the little like shaving bits you've got to do. Also, if you're going to run the Ruck Shop's fatty kit or stretch kit, whatever you want to call it, there's a couple of holes you've got to drill out, so I just want to show you those. So once this is all done, I can get it paint stripped, and then I can start doing all the, like the Bondo work, as you want to call it, or we call it P38 over here, which is like a body filler. I'm actually going to be using, hopefully, a metal filler, which is a bit like, I think you call it JB Weld over in America. I've actually got some out-of-date aircraft stuff which we would normally throw away at work, but I'm going to use it because it's okay for us here. I'm going to use it just to fill in some of those bits and sort of shape it and shave it down. I probably won't do that in this video, however, you know, I'm going to show you bits like paint stripping and yeah, those sort of cool little things. So let's take you over the frame. I'll show you the bits that I've shaved off. So I'll pop the frame up here on my worktop, just so I can show you some of the bits I've done. It's pretty obvious, you can see some of the shave marks and that, which is why I wanted to do this video. So let's start off at that end and work this way. Now, if you look at the main part of the frame, there is no alterations that you've got to do for this section. However, just to note, these faces here, where they make to the front frame, it's good to keep those bare. So when you go to your powder coater, just ask for him to mask off like a washer's sort of size around there, so that when the two frames meet together, it creates your like a bonding path or an earth path. So there's nothing to do here. So you get to this section. I've melted these bushes out. Unfortunately, I can't get these middle sections out. I've tried like my personal methods of doing it, but let's be honest, you're not even going to see them anyway because they get covered up with a frame cap. Now there's a little bracket here, like a little tab which you grind off, and here is this like a, almost looks like a knob, which is useless for what I want, so I've shaved that. And then on the middle section of the frame, let me get that supported, bear with me 1 second, there we go. So this section here, there's a couple of brackets. So there's one here which I think bends around like that, and then it holds the looms. Same here, there's a little tab, and there's another one that sits here. You literally, what I do is I cut the tabs off with an angle grinder, and then literally I use a flappy wheel to just smooth them off. And the welds did go around this corner, so I'm going to shape these with a file because I want it nice and smooth, but without having to fill everything. Like, I've got this relatively smooth. If you can see my reflection, there's very little refraction in it, which is pretty good. That's and it feels smooth to touch. But we can probably do that with a bit of a light bit of filler, or maybe just a high build primer. Then this end, again, there was one of those little sort of like knobs there which I've ground off. Nothing down this end of the frame, I don't think. Right, let's turn it up there, excuse me. So there's a little bracket there that I ground, and a little one on the inside there. Now these two holes that you see, they, on this side, you can just about, if it'll focus, there you go, you can see the little tack marks from a weld. Now on those there was two little sort of like captive nuts that were welded to the frame. Now what I do is I stick a little from going from this way. Let's flip it back down so I can show you. Excuse me, I'm trying to do this in one. Now basically I put a little, like one of the threaded bars that I've got, or you can use a bolt, pop it in and then just tap it through with a lump hammer, and basically that breaks the tacks and that gets that out of the way, which because of the shape of this bar, it's quite hard to get a grinder in here to actually smooth it off. So break the tacks will come off because the welds on these, let's just say they're not the best. Well, you can see looks a bit like this. If I can get it to focus. Well, you can see there, you can just see the little tacks. So that's basically what it looks like, but on the other side. And then you've got to drill these out to with 3/8, which is 9.6. So basically a 10 mil drill. Drill those out, deburr them, and that's prepped for that section. Scroll down here. I've got to take these zoomer labels off. Let's flip it over because there's quite a few sections up here. Now you can see there's various tabs along here that you don't need. There's one that's normally here, which is quite good for holding the coil, but I don't actually know what I'm doing. I'm probably going to go GY6 for this, but direct coil ignition, so that won't even need to be on there. It'll be on the actual coil itself. Little tab there, little one there, little one there. You just wiggle them, break them off, and then just clean them up. And then the biggest one is the one on the top, which is, depends on what frame you've got. Normally mine was like a wire, or let's say a bit of bar that was bent and then tacked to this. And then I had some aftermarket lights that were put on these top corners, so that's all been ground off. As you can see there, there's all been ground off. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Now we can get this off into paint strip and powder coating, or painting, depends on which way I go. My painter who's going to do the paint stripping, he might just go, ah no, I'll paint it for you. So you see on Burnout Bobby's video, he's altered his frame massively. So for example, he's cut this section down to match the profile of this. So he's cut that round, got rid of this top hole because he doesn't need it, and then he's welded a bar, like an up and over bar here, to support his front seat, the front part of his seat, and then that comes back and then it mates up with these two to give him a nice seat pan. But he's also what we call bobbed the frame, or chopped it. So basically you see this straight section here, he's had it cut, an internal sleeve put in, and then basically shortened it down. So that's quite a cool idea. I don't like copying people, but I really fancy doing it, so I'll probably ask his permission first. But yeah, so that's a frame prep for a basic, I say basic GY6 swap, but if you want that clean, sleek look, that's I mean, it doesn't take long. It took me about an hour to do these and make sure it was nice, but all the work is in the prep work, so smoothing it all out like that, I mean that's pretty smooth anyway. So a high build primer coat and a little bit of fettling, that you wouldn't see that anyway. So yeah, on with the next part. So as you can see, we put some paint stripper on, and you can see the paint's all like bubbled up, and that's been on there for about a day now. So we left it on overnight. You literally just paint it on, and it literally dissolves the paint. So once that's done, I can then get it cleaned up in the sandblaster and welded, and then we can start painting it. So this has been in paint shop for a couple of days, just having paint stripper put on. As you can see, most of the paint's come off. We've just got the little edges like that I need to sandblast off, but it really does take it off and take it back to bare metal. So this is pretty much ready to go in the sandblaster. And we've got this section here which needs to be welded onto that end. So yeah, let's crack on. Right, so right now I've got it in the sandblaster. We're just getting rid of all the paint. As you can see, it's cleaning up nicely. You can see the bar. I'm just getting in all the little detailed areas, and that'll clean it right up, ready for painting. Right, so that's going to end it for this video. We've got the frame, stripped it down. I showed you all the bits and brackets and all those little bits that you've got to cut off. We then cut the frame down because I wanted to bob it down a bit like what Ryan's done. Please head over to his channel, so The Real Burnout Bobby. Head over to his YouTube channel, give him some love as well. We paint stripped the frame. That is now going to be welded. It's actually in the weld shop now. We also sandblasted it, so it's all nice and clean, ready for paint. Once it comes back from the welder, we'll rub it down, flatten any bits out that need doing. So obviously where we've ground off the brackets and the little tabs and stuff, there might be some like imperfections in the shape, so we'll just bondo that up and clean that up, and then we'll start getting some primer coats on and the final, obviously, top coat, which is going to be gloss white. The reason I'm doing white is because the Escort behind me has got like a white roll cage and white wheels, and then what I'm going to do is try and get some vinyl done which will match the colour of the Escort to get some of those sort of like aspects into it. If it goes well, I might get some details done for the little black bike as well. Yeah, I'm excited for this build. It's going to be a good one. I've got some little bits that I quite fancy giving a go a bit later on down the road, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. So if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.